We start here tonight on News Nation with breaking news. Just a short time ago, we learned President-elect Joe Biden now has the green light from the federal government to move forward with his transition to the White House. Good evening, I'm Joe Donlin.
And I'm Marnie Hughes. The General Services Administration has sent a letter informing the president-elect that the Trump administration is ready to begin the formal transition process. That announcement comes just hours after Mr. Biden and his team revealed several more of his picks for cabinet positions, including roles for former Federal Reserve Chair Janet Yellen and former Secretary of State John Kerry.
And good evening once again. I'm Rob Nelson. That letter came from the GSA administrator, Emily Murphy. She now says President-elect Joe Biden is, quote, the apparent winner, despite President Trump's refusal to concede 20 days now after the election. This now means the Biden transition team can coordinate with federal agencies for plans to assume power at noon on January 20th. Murphy emphasized the nonpartisanship of the GSA, writing in part, quote, I came to my decision independently based on the law and available facts. I was never directly or indirectly pressured by any executive branch official, including those who work at the White House or GSA, with regard to the substance or timing of my decision. End quote. And tonight we are seeing reaction from President-elect Biden and from President Trump as well. News Nation national political correspondent Dean Reynolds live in the newsroom with a closer look at tonight's breaking news. Dean.
Rob, even though it is the first step the Trump administration has taken to acknowledge Joe Biden's apparent victory, the letter announcing the start of the transition was followed quickly by a tweet from the president, which said he intends to fight on and believes he will prevail in overturning the election. The formal letter from the General Services Administration frees up funding, intelligence briefings, and the essential federal machinery to enhance the Biden transition team's efforts to have a proper passage of presidential responsibilities on January 20th. The decision came within hours of Michigan certifying its election results in favor of the former vice president, with Pennsylvania's certification expected soon, further narrowing the White House attempts to disqualify millions of votes in states Mr. Biden won. The president-elect's transition team hailed the announcement. This final decision is a definitive administrative action to formally begin the transition process with federal agencies, it said in a statement. In the days ahead, transition officials will begin meeting with federal officials to discuss the pandemic response, have a full accounting of our national security interests, and gain complete understanding of the Trump administration efforts to hollow out government agencies. The GSA administrator, Emily Murphy, said she had followed the letter of the law and was not pressured by the White House to withhold approval until now. In his tweet, the president said he approved the decision in the best interests of our country, but also said, our case strongly continues. We will keep up the good fight, and I believe we will prevail. All of this comes after days, even weeks, during which the president-elect has been meeting with mayors, governors, or health officials in a bid to show him in command and moving ahead. It was a transition of sorts. Now it will be a transition in fact. And the new status came on a day when Mr. Biden announced several cabinet officials. Among them, Antony Blinken for Secretary of State, a longtime aide of Mr. Biden's. Blinken was on his vice presidential staff and on President Obama's National Security Council. Avril Haines for Director of National Intelligence. Haines, too, worked on the Obama National Security Council, and she would be the first woman in that job. Alejandro Mayorkas for Secretary of Homeland Security. A Cuban immigrant and former federal prosecutor, Mayorkas would be the first Latino in charge of immigration policy, one of the more contentious legacies of President Trump. Linda Thomas Greenfield to be UN ambassador with a restored cabinet rank. She is a 35-year veteran of the Foreign Service. And John Kerry to be special envoy on international climate issues. Kerry is a former senator and the Democrats' 2004 presidential nominee. We have no time to lose when it comes to our national security and foreign policy, Mr. Biden said in a statement from his transition office. I need a team ready on day one to help me reclaim America's seat at the head of the table, rally the world to meet the biggest challenges we face, and advance our security, prosperity, and values. This is the crux of that team. The Associated Press and several other outlets are reporting that Mr. Biden has also selected the former head of the Federal Reserve, Janet Yellen, to be the next Treasury Secretary. But the Trump campaign is still fighting. Its lawyers today scoffed at the state certifications of vote totals favoring Mr. Biden, calling them simply a procedural step. We are going to continue combating election fraud around the country as we fight to count all the legal votes. But with a formal transition to a new administration now underway, the Trump campaign's fight is looking increasingly difficult. Joe?
Busy day, Dean. Thank you very much for the recap. Our other